Good afternoon. My name is Leidy Poveda, and this is a presentation for my class on fundamentals of environmental health. Today's date is May 10th, 2019. So, the purpose of this presentation is to discuss the definition of cholera and what are the risk factors, as well as what regions are mostly affected. We will also discuss symptoms, treatments, and preventions, as well as a closer look into major incidents. So, what is cholera? According to the World Health Organization, cholera is an acute disease that can kill within hours if left untreated. Each year, there are 1.3 to 4 million cases of cholera and 21,000 to 143,000 deaths worldwide due to the cholera. According to the CDC, it is caused by an infection of the intestines with toxigenic bacterium, Vibrio cholera, serogroup 01 or 0139. Some histories of cholera, it is said that the cholera has been around for centuries, but the disease came to light in the 19th century. And the six pandemics originated in India, and it spread, killing millions around the world. Gaspar Correa, a Portuguese historian and author of legendary India, described an outbreak in the spring of 1543. And the people called the disease Moraxi, and it killed victims within 8 hours of developing symptoms. And the fatality rate was so high that it was a struggle to bury the dead. In 1854, as we learned in this class, John Snow, a British physician, was able to map the cholera cases and was able to identify the source of the disease, which was a contaminated water from a public well pump. He convinced public officials to remove the pump handle, and this dropped the cholera case. In this table here, I will show you what are the number of cholera cases by region between the years of 2006 and 2016. And as you can see, Africa has the most cases at 1.2 million. The next in line is the Americas at 830,000. And cholera continues to affect Africa now more than other regions. And this is due to the lack of access to clean water, sanitation facilities, and even when organizations try to help this region, it's hard sometimes because of the rural regions in Africa. So it's hard to navigate and to get help to the people that are needed. In these two graphs, I want to show you the incidence by region in a different way, and also which region have the most incidences between 2006 and 2016. In the graph in the left, you're able to see what we saw in the previous table, that Africa has the most cases at 1.2, and that the Americas is the second one in line. You can also see that the different colors in the bars are separated by the years. So on the graph on the left is the same information, but it's shown differently. And this time you're able to see the years at the bottom. And we were able to see that in 2011, the Americas had a huge amount of cases. And, I am curious to find out why, because if you compare it to the other years, it is not as high. So what happened in 2011? I created another graph just to separate the countries. I want to isolate all the countries to see what happened in the Americas region. So as you can see, that Haiti is the one country in the Americas that has an outlier. So I wanted to know what happened to Haiti in 2011 and why is this outlier there. Um, and of course, we know that Haiti experienced a devastating earthquake that killed and injured many and left up to 1.6 million homeless and displaced. If you recall, humanitarian crisis is increases the risk of cholera because of displacement and inadequate overcrowded camps. And this is exactly what happened to Haiti. So I wanted to know which country in the from the African region had the most cholera cases between 2006 and 2016. And that country was the Democratic Republic of the Congo. You can see graphically how this is the country with the most cases, 267,000. And similarly to what I did with the region of the Americas, I wanted to do with this country, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I wanted to know which year, if any, was an outlier. This graphical representation made me curious, um, and once more, because 1994 seems to have a lot more cases than any other year. And what I found out was that there was a massive inflow of refugees from Rwanda and Burundi that came to this country. So the same theme is noticeable. Displacement and overcrowding is a major risk factor for cholera. So what are the symptoms? Acute diarrhea. It takes up to between 12 hours and 5 days for a person to show symptoms after ingesting contaminated food or water. Some people infected may not develop symptoms, and the bacteria present in their system goes back to the environment and it infects others. Some symptoms include vomiting, leg cramps. These cause dehydration, septic shock, and death within hours. The treatment includes fluid replacement and antibiotics. There's also cholera vaccines, even though they only offer 65% of immunity. And cholera can be endemic, where confirmed cholera cases were detected during the last 2 years with evidence of local transmission. In cholera endemic countries, outbreaks can be seasonal or sporadic. Cholera transmission is linked to inadequate access to clean water and sanitation facilities. Humanitarian crisis increases the risk of cholera, like we saw in Haiti and like we saw in that Democratic Republic of the Congo in that year, 1994, when the refugees came in to that country. So displacement and inadequate overcrowding causes is a major risk factor for cholera. So what to do to prevent and control? We have to have a multi-level plan, surveillance, water sanitation and hygiene, social mobilization, treatment, and oral vaccines have to be used. Thank you.